Be our guest.
Be our guest.
Put
Put
our
our
service
service to
to
the
the
test.
test.
It's
Yeah.
so silly. I'm actually crying. Oh my god, hang on. Anyway, hi, welcome to Steph and Anja's Media Review, where we review literally anything. Today we are recording Beauty and the Beast, specifically the 2017 version, the live action remake.
Yes.
Sorry guys. There's just a lot of marketing for it.
It.
Um,
I like the
which is how we
movie. What?
select things. Yeah, I mean we can get into it, but I think it's one of the better live action remakes. I'll say that.
True.
I think it's good.
I think it's good too.
Um, you will have to excuse us. I'm going to address this up top. We are in a bit of a silly mood tonight. It's been a
Yeah.
hot minute since we've recorded.
Yeah.
And I, for context, I've just found out that Jojo Siwa might be coming down to Australia, so I'm in a weird space. I'm actually crying from that intro. That was too funny. But let's get into it.
Yeah.
Now, Anja, what
Yes.
is your background with Beauty and the Beast? Did you watch it a lot as a kid? Was it not one of your favorites? I'm keen to know.
Okay. I definitely had seen the animated version when I was a kid. I don't think
Mhm.
it was one of my favorites. I didn't watch it a lot. I think I preferred Cinderella and like Lilo and Stitch
Interesting.
and
Yeah.
things. I didn't watch many princesses, even though
Yeah.
I liked princesses. If that makes
No,
sense.
I actually am the same.
Yeah.
I much preferred like the animal based movies.
Yeah.
Um yeah.
The
I'm
ones
glad
were
we're on the
like
same page in that one.
friendship rather than like Prince Charming.
Yeah.
And the,
Fair, fair.
yeah.
I would argue Beauty and the Beast is not one of those. But
True.
you
Stockholm
don't know any
syndrome.
better as a kid.
True. True. Um, sorry, the moth just flew at my head, but that's okay. um, besides as a kid with animation, um, I don't think I've had any other experiences with it except for this 2017 movie, which I
Yeah.
don't think I watched as it immediately came out, but I did watch it soon
Mhm.
after, and I did really like it, and I have watched it a couple times, and it's just a movie that like I can sit and watch and be happy
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fun.
yeah. How
Love
about you,
it.
Steph?
Love it. Um, well, as I kind of said, like I think I'm in the same boat as you where like I definitely watched the animated movie a bit as a kid, but it was not one of my favorites. Um, I really loved like The Lion King and 101 Dalmatians and like Winnie the Pooh. Like that was where I was at.
Yeah.
Um, but then Steph Law is I actually performed in the like junior version of Beauty and the Beast when I was 10 years old. Um, which meant that I became a lot more familiar with the story. I was not a character in it. I was one of the villagers who sings one line
Oh,
um, in the opening song, which was very exciting for me as a 10-year-old who had never done theatre before to get even one line.
true.
Um, it was I need 6 eggs, very important. I
It is
still need
important.
6 eggs seemingly on a weekly basis, so that's fair. Um, and then I was a thing in the Beast's castle where I was cutlery basically. I had like a fork on one side and a spoon on the other. It
Nice.
was incredible. What a good time. Um, but yeah, then I think I watched this live action one in cinemas. I might be misremembering or thinking of something else, but I watched, if not this, then something very similar in theaters, and I seem to remember quite enjoying it. I mean, I have like a bit more of an attachment to the animated one, I think, but I mean, as I said, like I actually think it's probably like one of the best of the like Disney's little live action remakes. Um, And I like the changes that they make. I like the things they add in, which we can get to in a sec.
True.
But yeah, this is one of those ones where we're like, yeah, we like the source material.
We do like it.
um, Now, shall we hop into a little plot summary? So
Absolutely.
I would be very surprised if like there was someone listening who didn't know anything about Beauty and the Beast.
Oh my god,
But
spoiler
just as a
alert.
recap, yes, sorry. Oh my god, watch the movie. So essentially, the movie opens as kind of a snapshot on this castle. It's based in France. Um, and the beast, or the prince who is to become the beast, is hosting a ball when they are interrupted by a knock from this old, very haggard woman who offers him a rose in return to stay in from the weather, the horrible weather outside. The prince turns her away, and she she turns into an enchantress and curses him into essentially being a monster. The outside matches the inside, so to speak. Um, and the rose that she had offered him was enchanted as well. That when the last petal falls from it, he and all the beings within his castle will remain as they are, beast and inanimate objects for all time. A few years later, we meet Belle, who is a villager in this French town, and she's a bit of a quirky girl. She likes to read. She's very forward thinking, which the villagers don't really know what to do with. But she's the most beautiful girl in town, and that is very appealing to Gaston. Now, what did you think of Gaston? Like as a character, I'm curious to know.
I think he's funny. I mean
Agreed.
I mean, you've gotta have one of those characters every now and again,
Of
right?
course, of course. You gotta have a villain in every story. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah, no, just my thoughts are like, yeah, he's probably needed for
Yeah,
this storyline. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't have any more thoughts. I thought it was Luke Evans who played it in the movie. I thought he did a
yes.
very good job. I
He
liked him.
he is incredible in
Yeah.
this role. um, but yes, so he is kind of the stereotypical man of this time. Very misogynistic and doesn't think really of women as people. But Belle's the most beautiful girl in town and he deserves the best. So he has decided to get Belle to marry him, much to the chagrin of his little sidekick, LeFou, who is also like incredible in this movie.
Yes, Josh Gad.
um, Josh Gad, what an icon, like those two
It's
together.
literally Olaf.
Love it. Literally, and like a lot of other theater things.
Yeah.
um, Basically, though, Belle lives with her father, Maurice, after the death of her mother and his wife. Um, and he is an inventor and he sets off on a journey to basically show off his new invention, but gets caught in the woods by some wolves. So he seeks shelter from the enchanted castle. The beast is not thrilled to have a stranger there, so he imprisons Maurice, and Belle ends up going to look for him and essentially trading her place for his, so he could return to the village, but she would be stuck with the castle for all time. Um, Beast isn't really sure what to do with her, to be honest. She is a prisoner to him, but his, I guess, his subjects want him to break the spell, and the way to do that is for him to fall in love with someone and have them fall in love with return. So the arrival of Belle, who, by the way, we didn't talk about it, is played by Emma Watson.
Yes.
In case you missed that. And the servants really want him to break the spell, so they ultimately welcome her more than the beast does, leading to be our guest. And they end up, Beast and Belle end up getting closer and closer together, bonding over the love of books and kind of shared, I guess, experiences in a funny sort of way, which is kind of why they do end up falling in love with each other.
Stockholm
However,
syndrome.
listen, her options aren't her options aren't that great if you think about it.
I mean, there is
Like
Gaston.
Gaston is, I would argue, Gaston is worse than the Beast. At least the Beast thinks of Belle as a human being.
True, that's so true.
Anyway, back in the village, Maurice has warned all the villagers of the Beast, and Belle, after a very romantic dinner and dance with him, seeks Maurice out at the urging of the Beast. He's let her go, he's fallen in love with her, but she does not necessarily love him in return yet. So Belle returns to the village and tells them that that Maurice isn't lying, that the Beast is real, and he's actually quite kind, which rallies Gaston because he is an incredibly jealous man. And he and the villagers, who are kind of fueled by this fear of what the Beast could do, never mind the fact I think he's been in the area for like 10 years and hasn't done anything.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. They invade the castle, and a fight ensues between Beast and Gaston. The Beast is horribly depressed, by the way.
Yeah.
um, it's actually like incredibly sad. And as the fight continues, Beast sees that Belle's there, and he hesitates to kill Gaston, who, obviously being the type of person he is, uses the moment to get a hit on Beast instead, falling to his death. Which unfortunately does kill the Beast. However, Belle does admit that she loves him in return, so the spell is broken, and everyone returns. Everyone becomes human again.
Yay.
Um, Including, there is a little scene where it turns out the enchantress has been living amongst the villagers the whole time as well. Just as an FYI, and the movie ends with them hosting a ball similar to the beginning, and all is put right.
Yeah. Happy ending.
Happy ending, indeed.
We need some of those.
It's just like, honestly, some of this movie is it's actually like way sadder than the original.
Yeah.
Like the bits about like Belle's mother, I'm just like, oh,
Yeah, that was
crying.
yeah.
But overall, what did you think of it? I guess like as its own movie, and as well as like as a remake of the original as well.
I think it's a fun movie. Like,
Mhm.
if you watch it, you'll enjoy it. You'll have fun. You'll enjoy the music.
Yes.
You'll enjoy the characters. Like, there's nothing bad about this movie, I don't think. Like, people like to
Mhm.
bag on Emma Watson singing. Like, oh, there's auto tune. Well, you know what? Pretty much everyone auto tunes in movies. Like, that's
Yeah,
nothing
right.
new.
And also, I do think she is like, I mean, this will come up in the marketing as well, but I do ultimately think that she was the right choice for this movie.
Oh, 100%.
Not just because of like the typecasting with like her and Hermione, but I actually think like she does make a very good Belle.
Yeah.
Like she's definitely put her own spin on it, which I really liked. I know that a lot of the there's a scene at the start where she's kind of creating like the first washing machine.
Yeah.
Um, and I believe that that was like Emma Watson's idea, to have some of those moments in the movie, which I really love. I think that shows like a real understanding of the character.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved it. And as a remake, I can't really outlast if I watched the animated one. It was so long
Yeah,
ago,
fair.
so I can't really answer that question. But I no, I did really like really, really do love this movie, and
Yeah.
I I could go into detail. I love the costumes. I love just like the
Mhm.
way it was filmed. Like I love the songs. I love the characters. I love the choreography. It's just everything. I really just so fun this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But, should we quickly touch on the cast? We've kind of,
absolutely.
dipped our toes in a little bit, but
Yeah,
it's a very it's a stacked
it's
cast. Like,
stacked.
Disney put a lot of budget in it.
Oh, they
Because
sure did.
you obviously have Emma Watson as Belle,
Mhm.
who we've obviously just talked about. Um, you have Dan Stevens, who I don't really know what he's been in, but Wikipedia has told me that he's been in Downton Abbey. Um,
Yeah,
and I thought he was like really, really good as the Beast.
yeah.
Like, oh, that song, Evermore,
Mm,
that's it actually might be my favorite like song in the movie. It doesn't it was made for the movie, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
Because it's not in the musical and it's obviously not in the original. So I was like, yeah, love that.
Mm,
Then, as you mentioned earlier, we have Luke Evans as Gaston.
yep.
Need I say more? Like, very prolific
Yeah.
actor, incredible. Um, and then you have Josh Gad, of course, other side we've already discussed.
Yep.
You have Ewan McGregor as
Yeah.
Lumiere,
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci as like the composer guy who got like turned in Maestro is how I remember him.
Yeah.
He's like the cupboard's husband. um,
I was gonna say,
who else?
we gotta mention the people, recognized by royalty. There's Sir Ian
Yes,
McKellen and
of
Dame
course,
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson
Yeah.
as Cogsworth and Mrs. Potts.
Yep.
That is
So
crazy.
just
That is crazy.
like this cast
Mhm.
stacked. So like if we want to
Stacked.
talk about marketing, cast alone,
Yes.
cast alone
Yes.
got this up there
In the
already.
bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They bagged all these
Um,
people. They're like, "Yep, we're done."
yeah, seriously. Oh my gosh. But like I'm in all seriousness, like that is how they I mean, Beauty and the Beast, if you think about it, that was a massive hit to begin with.
Yeah.
It's like won too many awards to name, right? Like the
Mm.
movie and the musical. I'm pretty sure it was like it's still one of the only animated movies to be nominated for Best Picture. Like it's huge and for good reason. It's a phenomenal movie. Like it's a
Mm.
really good story. So you obviously have that element of it kind of marketed itself. I think at the time that this came out, people were like, oh, we're not sure about these Disney live action remakes. So I think Disney kind of needed to prove itself in
Yeah.
that way as well.
I
And
think
I think,
especially after Cinderella, people were all like, "Mm."
yeah, my controversial take is I like Cinderella, but I don't think I think I've only seen the animated one once. So I don't have that attachment to it.
Yeah, true.
Um, but I think it's like you look beyond Beauty and the Beast too, and it's like, oh, like what followed it? Lion King, great. That was not a good one.
No, The
Um,
Little Mermaid, that was good. I enjoyed that.
that's true. That's true. And then Mulan was like another one that came out. Like, I think they're kind of now getting back into the swing of things a bit. I
Mm,
think they were ready to just churn them all out at once, but then have kind of heard what people have said about it, kind of based on the movies that followed this. And I think it's because this movie did do
so well.
really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That they were like, oh, okay, people will watch this so we can justify not being as careful about how we remake things.
Yeah.
Um, but I think also, if you think about it, like the kids who saw the original, they were at least like at minimum young adults by the time that this live action remake came out.
Yeah.
So a lot of them would have had or at least started to have families of their own. So you're appealing not just to the millennials who were kids when this movie came out, but millennials who now have their own families and want to reintroduce it to a new generation. So I think that's where Disney kind of plays a lot as well, where it's kind of like whole brand is family centric. So
Yeah.
if they can find the point of hitting the appeal for both kids of the past and kids of the future, kids of the
Mm.
present,
I mean, that's
then
it.
I think they really hit the nail on the head, right?
Yeah.
That's really ideal.
Yeah.
Um, I know there's a lot on the marketing. Did you have a specific place that you wanted to kind of lead us into?
Um.
'Cause I
Hmm.
have a fair few that I'm like, hmm.
Okay. Can we talk about the partnerships first? Because I feel like
Yes,
there's some
there's a lot.
interesting ones there.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk specifically about The Bachelor.
Yes.
Because,
Yeah.
so, what, Steph, is the correlation between Beauty and the Beast and The Bachelor?
Hmm. Hmm. I do know the answer, but for the sake of this bit, I'm going to be like, I don't know, Anya. Tell me, what is the correlation there?
It's the roses.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so The Bachelor US, like the season that came out when the movie came out, did a promo and
Mhm.
they're like obviously did stuff in connection with the movie, and I think that's so funny. So I'm like, that's
Yes,
so
yeah.
in line, the roses. That's amazing.
And
Just
it's
imagine.
also like, it's a romantic piece as well. Like it kind
True.
of makes sense.
Yeah.
I
Imagine if
love
they
that.
just instead, because The Bachelor was like really clean cut, had short hair. Imagine if they chose a Bachelor, long,
Oh
like
my God.
knotty hair, beard, like really went with Beast for that season. Now that would
Yes,
have like
beast
topped
mode.
the cake.
Oh my God.
Yep. They should hire me. That was a joke.
Unless.
Other partnerships. There was like a Sony mobile partnership. CompareTheMarket.com. Olay.
Yes.
Olay does like creams and makeup.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
the funniest one though, Dole bananas, Dole
Yeah,
brand bananas. They just have Beauty the
yeah.
Beast on stickers.
They were like, we've got money, we got to do it.
Yeah, like that's great. I think that's my favorite besides The Bachelor is the bananas.
Yeah. I saw one article that was like, they did this to, and I'm quoting here, showcase the beauty of healthy living by placing stickers of the main Beauty and the Beast characters on their bananas, pineapples, and salad products.
That's so amazing.
So, you know, think on that.
There we go. Those are the main ones I wanted to shout out for partnerships, but I don't know if you had any more, Steph.
I had one more. Well, it's more of like, I'm not sure if it's a partnership as much as it's just like a general ad, but Google Home. I don't know if you came across this one.
Yeah.
Um, on March 17, users who asked Google Home to say, you know, what to expect that day, you would usually hear like what the traffic's like, what the weather's like. Um, and then it reminded them that the movie was being released that day, um, which was like a bit controversial
Yeah.
because some people were like, oh, it's, you know, I don't want to hear about like movies that are being released when I'm just trying to go about my day.
Yeah.
Whereas other people are like, oh, it's one sentence really. It's a part of a sentence. Like
Yeah.
it's not really a deal. So I found that to be quite interesting because that's like I think it toes the line between integration and just general ad because like
Yeah.
it is integrated into what the product is, in this case Google Home. So but again, to me, like the doll stuff, like it really comes across as like, oh, we have money to spend, let's spend it and see where it lands.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I found to be interesting.
They like did so much. Like, did you read about the Spotify ad, Steph?
Oh no, I
So
didn't hear
they
about that
had
one.
an interactive Spotify ad, which okay was for free users, because obviously if you got premium, you don't get ads. But it was a video
Mm-mm.
ad that directed the people who are seeing the ad to the Beauty and the Beast hub, which linked users to a room in the castle that is based on their listening tastes.
Oh
So
my god.
each room in the castle, so there was like a Rose room, a ballroom, Belle's bedroom, the Beast's bedroom, a dining room, library, dungeon, dining room. I said that already. Anyways, it was they each room had a playlist, a music playlist, which then people could listen to that was based off their listening, which then
Mhm.
promoted Beauty and the Beast. Which
So cool. I did not
yeah.
know that.
And it also included exclusive on-set interviews and photography from the film, each of these playlists.
Stunning.
Yeah, so
Stunning.
that's a cool one.
Yeah. I have a little bit on social if you're kind of jumping if we can jump
Yeah,
to that.
yeah.
Because they did a lot. To kind of kick us off, they did do like a pretty extensive Twitter campaign back in the day for when Twitter was brand safe. Um,
Yes.
um, and it kind of was like at the very, very tail end. So, about a month before the movie premiered and released in cinemas, and specifically on February 14th, which I, obviously we all know Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Um, So on that day, people in certain cities could tweet using the hashtag Be Our Guest and receive a rose delivery for themselves or for someone special. And then, as part of that, fans who liked or hearted the tweet from the official movie account had the opportunity to receive a message from one of the stars of the movie, which I couldn't really find anything on. Like beyond that.
Yeah,
But I just found that to be like quite a cool it's like a reward
yeah,
really for users who are like engaging with the content that's being put out. And I think that also makes sense. You think about it like similar to The Bachelor, where it's like, roses, obviously Valentine's Day, but also tie into the movie. And it is like a very romantic movie. So I see the relation there.
yeah. I was gonna say also on Twitter, besides that little
Mhm.
campaign, they also had some exclusive little stickers people could use and
Yeah.
post. Just a little to add to that.
Love, love. I also wanted to mention, I mean, obviously they ran like general advertising on all social media, but they also had, I don't know if you're familiar with it, Goodreads, which is like an app for those who don't know, or a website that you can kind of record all the books that you've read um, just over an extended period of time, like kind of as you're going.
Yeah.
And they had a list of what Belle would read in the modern times. So I
Cool.
thought that was quite cool. And like, I think that's actually like very in character because obviously it's fine to play up the rose and the romance. And that's obviously a big part of it. But I think also a big part of the movie is Belle being her own person and not being tied to a man in the way that Gaston wants her to be. So I liked that that one was very much just all about her.
Yeah, that's so good. I was gonna say as well, the movie had a
Mm.
website.
Yes, sure did.
It sure did. I don't really have much information on it. Just I wanted to say the movie had a website, which most movies do, but
Mhm.
you know, we've heard about the Wicked one, I'm sure. Wait, have you, Steph?
Oh, I have.
I
How
mean,
sorry, this is a little tangent, but this is you're talking about like the dolls stuff,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
Okay, for context for anyone going back and listening and has maybe missed this, basically they released dolls for like the Wicked movie characters. And they've printed the website wicked.com. However, that's not the movie website.
Mm-mm.
That's a very adult website.
That's been
So they've
printed
just
on a
gone
kid's
around and
doll.
printed it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
And kids, they're very tech savvy, so they'll I'm sure they'd jump onto that website. So I think I saw that like it got like the most traffic it's ever had because of those dolls.
It's
So I was
literally
like, oh,
insane. But I mean, creative buzz, I guess.
yeah,
But at
yeah,
least Beauty and the Beast didn't, send people to an adult website.
yes, yes,
And it's just
that is
it's
true.
just a normal website doing normal website
Hmm.
things.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, I think the last thing I have on my kind of marketing list, Steph, is
Mm.
nostalgia. So
Hmm. Hmm.
across social media and like with the trailers and everything, they used a lot of imagery that reflected back to the animation, which really
Yeah,
pulled on the heartstrings of all the audience. Which I think you kind of touched on before, Steph, when we're talking about how we're not only targeting the new kids, we're targeting the grown up kids, and the nostalgia played a major part in that
yeah,
and kind of did the marketing for
100%.
itself. Doing those little shots, getting Belle's yellow dress, like those little things, like played a big part because then people could watch the trailer and go, "Oh, I remember this from the animation."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I wanted to quickly touch on the yellow dress because there was a lot of controversy about that as well, which,
yeah,
to be fair, I think drove a lot of discussions and ultimately, like, maybe drove people to see it. I'm sure, like, a lot of people who would have seen it would have already been aware that it was happening. But basically, people were kind of saying, oh, the dress basically doesn't look like the animated version, which it's an interesting, like it's animated. It's obviously not going to look perfect anyway.
yeah,
Um, but also, like, again, it's something that Emma Watson helped pick for herself. Like, I think if you're looking at it from Belle's perspective and she's just been living in this village for her whole life, then it is kind of in character for her to not pick the most like gorgeous, like stunning dress. I think it's a lovely dress, but I
it's
think it's more in
yeah,
line with Belle's character to pick something a bit more simple than even what was in the animated movie. I
yeah.
think it fits. I think it makes sense.
But I was gonna say, can promise you, wasn't simple because I had 2,160 crystals on it.
Exactly.
It
Like,
had over 3,000 feet of thread. It took 12,000 designer hours to complete. So,
oh,
I
it's
think
not simple.
all these people can shut their mouths. Okay, it was a beautiful
People
dress.
probably just people probably just saw the trailer and was like, you couldn't really see the detail in it, and so
Yeah,
they were like, "Oh, it's just been thrown together. Looks like a sheen dress."
yeah,
And I was like, "Damn, that's kind of brutal."
is
Um,
brutal.
but watch the movie, honestly.
Yeah,
If you haven't seen it in a while, I do recommend giving it a watch with an open mind.
exactly. The songs are fun, guys.
Songs are fun. And you know what? Even if you don't want to watch the movie, listen to the soundtrack. Like, just listen to the music. That's all I ask.
That's right.
That's
I was gonna say, Steph, do you have any more marketing things you wanted to add?
I don't really. I think we've covered a lot of it, other than the fact that I just wanted to say they spent $140 million on marketing, um, which is crazy to me.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's a similar price to the amount the movie cost, and then they double, like,
Yes.
yeah,
And then it's on top of that.
crazy. That's an
Yeah.
insane amount of money.
Oh, I also have one thing on the initial teaser trailer as well. In the
Ooh,
first 24 hours, the trailer reached 91.8, so almost 92 million views, um, which was the largest number ever seen for a trailer in that amount of time. Um, but then it was kind of broken by like a series of Marvel movies that kind of followed that. So it's like Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, and I think like the horror movie, It
yeah,
Chapter One, also broke that record. But
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast said it.
Exactly. Yeah, I
And
mean, you
it's
can't
kind
help
of
that.
funny to me that I was going to say it's kind of funny to me that like Beauty and the Beast was kind of up there with those major blockbusters.
Yeah.
I think like to wrap us up like on marketing, I think that's a real testament to the level of impact the original movie had, and like it kind of dictated the way that people felt about this remake as well.
Hmm, there you go. I have some
Yeah.
facts.
Yes, tell me.
Okay, so did you know that Ryan Gosling was offered the role of Beast?
Oh my god, I did. That would be a very different movie.
But yeah, he turned it down for La La Land.
Mm.
Interestingly enough, Emma Watson was offered the lead role in La La Land, but turned it down for Beauty and the Beast.
Where's this alternate universe where we get Ryan Gosling as
The
as the
Beast.
Beast, but Emma Watson's in La La Land?
Who knows? Crazy.
Oh,
So that's my first little fun fact.
mhm.
Sir Ian McKellen originally turned down the voice of Cogworth in the 1991 movie, which he deeply regretted, but luckily enough, in the live
He
action
got a second chance.
he was able to take the role, which he was probably
Yes.
over the moon for.
Hmm.
I've already
Hmm.
talked about Belle's ballroom gown.
Yes.
Okay, this one. Luke Evans. Did you know that he has some very spiky canines and actually had to wear fake teeth to hide them in this movie?
Oh my god. I didn't know that. I didn't see that. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Over 8,700 candles were used on set. Makes
Damn.
sense. But it's a
It makes
lot.
sense. Yeah.
Okay, my last fun fact. Emma Watson, Dame Emma Thompson, Luke Evans, and Nathan Mack, who plays Chip, all
Mhm.
share the same birthday of April 14th, which was also the day the cast read through the movie for the first time.
That is crazy. Oh my god. Do you
How
think
fun is
that they
that?
all woke up that day and were like, "Oh, we're running through the whole movie today. Oh, it's my birthday. Oh, it's mine too." Like, I'm just
Yeah.
picturing it as like a comedy skit.
Yeah, same.
I
But
love that.
those are my fun facts.
Love it. I have one little comment on the music, just some like little notes that I saw. So, um, when it was released in 1991, um, obviously we know that Beauty and the Beast was nominated for a lot of awards, like none more so than for the music. It was written by Howard Ashman and Alan Menken. Very prolific in this scene. Um, and the original score was a key reason that the director actually agreed to direct a live action version of the movie, um, saying that the score had more to reveal. You look at the songs and there's not a clunker in the group. It's been described as the best Broadway musical of 1991, and the animated version was already darker and more modern than previous Disney fairy tales. Um, and then also in 2017, uh, Disney and Celine Dion, who actually sang the original 1991 titular Beauty and the Beast duet song, like for the credits, like as an official release,
Yeah.
confirmed that she would be performing one of the new songs in the live action remake, which is called How Does a Moment Last Forever? It's a beautiful song. Um, and I just I just wanted to make a note as well because like she's saying like it really helped her career. It was like a turning point in her life. So I think it's nice that it seems like this whole movie was all about like making sure that those who were part of the original were at minimum acknowledged and at the very most like included in some capacity, which I
Mm.
really liked. Um, and also Emma Thompson performed the title song. um, which is a callback to Angela Lansbury, who played the original Mrs. Potts in the animated movie. I mean, makes sense. She sang it, but kind of cool that Emma Thompson has that on her resume as well,
Yeah.
alongside a big list of other things.
Yes. Well, there you go.
Love it. Now, I have some bad news. I have some bad news, guys. Due to time constraints, we don't have really anything to end out this episode.
That's okay.
Um, Apologies. We will do better
I can
at
I've
some
got
point.
I've got a suggestion.
Okay, talk to me.
We've got 1 minute. Let's spitfire a fanfic scenario.
Oh Lord. Okay,
And
okay. All right.
here's the pairing. Gaston and LeFou.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew it. I knew it.
How do they get together?
Okay. All right. Not so much how they're gonna get together, but angst. This is post movie.
Oof.
LeFou is like feeling so conflicted because Gaston was obviously like the worst kind of person and he does deserve better. At the same time, it's hard to let go of someone that you love. And so, in some way, I haven't really thought about it. Gaston appears to him, whether in a vision or just as like a LeFou hallucination, and basically says, "It's okay, you can let me go. It's chill."
I like
And
it.
then it ends as like a bit of a, will he let it go?
Ooh,
That was
you
a
leave it
Frozen
on like
reference.
the audience. The
I didn't mean
audience.
for it to be a Frozen reference.
No, but it's
And then he turns
perfect.
into Olaf.
And then Frozen begins.
Then Elsa shows up.
And then Jack Frost comes in because everyone loves that pairing.
Yeah, and they're just like, yeah, Jack Frost is here too, because why not?
I like this fanfic, it sounds fun.
Yeah, let me write it. I'll share the link.
Alright, well,
Okay, okay.
I think that might end us out now.
Perfect. I'm glad.
Final thoughts, Steph?
um, I mean, I really like this movie. I think it's, as I said, one of the best of Disney's live action remakes. It's clearly made with a lot of love and a lot of attention to detail. And, with a marketing budget of $140 million, you can do anything.
So true.
Anyway, how about your thoughts?
Great movie. I think everyone should just this is a movie just sit to enjoy. Like there's no need
Hmm.
to go down to the nitty-gritty and can be comparing it to anything. Like it's meant to be a movie to watch for fun and just enjoy. So movie
Hmm.
side, that's what I think. Marketing side, I think every movie wishes it had the amount of budget that it spent
Yeah,
on making the movie to market the movie. Cause my gosh,
every brand wishes they had that kind of money. Jesus.
yeah. But I think it's just some of the marketing I think is really funny and just like, we have
Hmm.
money, so let's do it. Like the bananas,
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
example. And then some of it was really like on brand, like The Bachelor and like
Hmm.
the Goodreads and Spotify. I thought like all those were like really good like ideas. And I just think overall, I mean, they did a good job. If the cast and nostalgia didn't like sell this movie to people, then the marketing sure did.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, but I think that wraps us up. So, I hope all of you enjoyed. If you liked this episode, you can leave a like, leave a comment, leave a recommendation down below. Subscribe, follow us. That'd be really cool. We have a TikTok and Instagram, Steph and Anja's Me Review, all one word, and I think that's it.
And yeah, if nothing else, outro.